We are so proud of you and everything that you accomplish in the industry and in the world. And thank you for being engaged with us. Thank you for being our long-term thinking partners. And this is what truly makes us better so we can serve you better in industry. See, today I want to let you in one of the best kept secrets of how you and your company can still advance your R&D despite all the challenges and the shortages caused by the pandemic. And I hope that by the end of my short presentation, this becomes one of our best well-known secrets. And I'm sure if such a rare, unique opportunity ever arises to you, our alumni at your companies in the future, you will also invite us into such unique opportunities because this is what long-term partners do for each other. See, this fall we are launching a brand new industry university consortium under the supervision of the US National Science Foundation, and it's headquartered here at CU. The mission of this new Industry University Focus Center is to advance the science, the practice, and the education around the intelligent Internet of Things systems. And I'm looking forward to have a dialogue with you and to have questions and answers with you later at the later session in October. But this is how it all started. One day, I opened up my eyes, and in front of me, there was a whiteboard and was written, today's date is August 5th, 2015. And this is the Good Samaritan Hospital in Corvallis, Oregon. Now, I asked a nurse why I'm here, and she said, I had a bicycle crash. I didn't remember any bicycle crash. In fact, I didn't remember more important things like what year it was or where I was living or how many children I had. But I did remember my wife when she came in the hospital room. So note to self that when something bad happens here, make sure you remember the important people in your life. So I asked my wife where I am and how I got there, and she said, you had a bicycle crash. Ambulance found you, and we are safe in the hospital. We live now in Corvallis, Oregon. So I said, wow, I didn't know that where we lived. And when she finished all of this, I looked her in the eye and said, honey, where I am and how I got here. And she said the same thing, the bicycle crash, ambulance found you. We live now in Corvallis, Oregon. We have 3 children. I didn't remember any of that. See, what really happened, I suffered a severe brain concussion in which I lost my short-term memory. So imagine that every 2 minutes you push a button and blick, everything just goes blank. Then the days and the months after my accident, I reflected on my life. And while my brain was foggy from the loss of short-term memory, probably for the first time in my life with the best clarity of mind, I could see the big picture, and I didn't like it. It was all about me, and it's all about my career. And I decided I want to turn my life around. Every day I'm learning how can I intentionally serve people? How can I add value to others? Every day I'm learning how do I shift from being a ladder climber to being a ladder holder so that other people can go higher in life than I did and can go further than I did. You see, this personal crisis in my life was the greatest catalyst for change in my life. And I think similarly, you can turn the adversity caused because of the COVID crisis into an advantage. And one of the main benefits of any crisis is the elimination of any competitive boundaries. As these unhandleable boundaries collapse, innovation, partnerships increases. We can see ourselves working with others. As we get out of the box of how we have always done things, we find more and better ways of doing new solutions. And I wish that you will see a new way of partnering with industry, with us at CU, with others in academia, with federal research labs, and with funding agencies, and that's how you can help advance your R&D. For the last 5 years, I visited you in industry, and I'm very gracious that you welcome me and my colleagues, and you are very transparent. And there are more than 100 companies where we visited these years. And during these discovery visits with directors, with C-level executives, I continuously ask you questions about what are you proud of accomplishing, what excites you as the next big growth, and what are the challenges that you have, and where do you need help from us in academia at universities, and what are some upcoming opportunities. And the theme of all these many stories I collected is all about intelligent Internet of Things software systems that make sense of the world around us and augment our intelligence. You see, this is already a trend that was happening before the pandemic, but the pandemic is even further accelerating this trend, such as connecting everything to the internet for remote monitoring, for remote service, for better analytics. For example, in your home, the repair person can service your smart utilities, cooking appliances, for example, without even coming to your home. Right? So this is the Internet of Things in our home, If you think about in a smart city, we want to predict the peaks of resource utilization. We want to inform the city planners where do we need to build new biking infrastructure or new bike lanes, where do we need to build. All of this based on data about the current usage of the infrastructure. If you think about industrial automation and manufacturing, we are all excited about auto-diagnosis on the device itself. Now we want to predict when a certain piece from a complex equipment will wear out and where it needs to be replaced. And last year, when everyone could still fly, people remember those days, I met with Ed Bastian, the CEO of Delta Airlines, and he told me how they have saved about $1 billion across the Delta. So how many of you have ever been on a flight and just about the flight was about to take off, it had to be canceled because of an unscheduled maintenance operation? So I've been. So what Ed Bastian told me is that they cancel these cancellations. So they put monitors on all their engines, on all their complex equipment on the aircraft, and they could determine when something is about to fail so that they could replace it ahead of time, and that way that could keep all the aircraft in the air and could fly more. And this has saved Delta Airlines about $1 billion per year. You see, what I found out is that in the industry, this next big growth comes from pushing intelligence from the cloud infrastructure more to the edge, more to the devices themselves, which is sometimes referred to as edge computing, and it's because of latency, response time is critical, mobility, privacy, context awareness are essential qualities for successful applications. And of course, the holy grail of all this new generation of intelligent Internet of Things systems is personalization. This is truly the key to deliver and differentiate from competitors in the marketplace. So we at CU Boulder, you've been here on the campus, you know the caliber of our faculty and students. We have a broad range of expertise in the underlying science, but our mission is not to commercialize these personalized intelligence applications of the smart IoT of the future. This is what you, our partners and our alumni will do at your companies. Our mission is to come alongside you as your thinking partners to help you to build a platform on top of which you can build these smart vertical applications. And these platforms includes data science, artificial intelligence and machine learning. It includes edge and cloud computing. It includes privacy. When we are going to have a lot of sensors monitoring our lives, how do we keep it from invading our privacy, and how do we keep the data secure? How do we program? How do we create a thriving ecosystems of software applications that talk with each other and exchange information? And last but not least, how do we have these software systems that are usable by everyday users that do not have a PhD in machine learning from CU? You see, the complexity is such that you need to be really good in all these pieces of the puzzle. It's not enough that you are the world's champion in one of these pieces. You need to be really good in all this. And building such an ecosystem was already a formidable challenge. Even before the pandemic, the crisis makes things even harder now and makes people rethink the approach for solving these big problems through partnerships. And at our center, at PPI Center at CU, we have world-class expertise in all these pieces of the components, but we are dedicated to work with you, our alumni, and with you in industry to make all these foundational pieces come together. See, number one is the center positions you professionally as the big picture thinker in your organization. And the scale and complexity of building these intelligent IoT applications is beyond what any leader can successfully think on their own. This requires a group thinking approach, and others are already seeing this big picture, and I don't want you to be left behind. So when I asked Fernando Pereira, which is the Vice President of Machine Learning at an AI at Google, he said that for him as a leader, it's really important to have access to a diverse thinking brought by other industry leaders in the center, brought by the faculty, by our students, by the national agencies. When I talked with Lutz Beck, who is the CIO of Daimler Trucks, another founding member for us, he said that he really likes to bounce off ideas and see whether they are moving in the right direction. Now, second is the center gives you a great creative outlet, resources to grow. You can leverage collective effort of other companies, and you don't have to build a team from scratch. We all know what's the great effort required to build and to create momentum and to create a world-class thinking team and the energy required. And you don't have to build this from scratch. You can all leverage all of these resources. So some of the things that your team and your company might be missing out is many things happen when industry and academia collaborate. We transfer the ideas in both directions. We don't have the key of knowledge. at CU, but we are looking at you as thinking partners. We know that you have lots of expertise in industry that we don't have. We have access to interesting problems that we don't have. And our industry members are, it's a mix of large global corporate companies who have the practice and who have the experience of building large software systems. We have medium-sized and smaller startups. They have agility and flexibility. They can try out ideas faster. And last but not least, it's all about leveraging resources and access to people. And you already know, you've been here on campus, you already know the caliber of PhD students that we have here on campus. Imagine what would it mean if you can hire one of our graduate students who you have seen developing over the years, and you can bring them on your team and put them on the critical thinking path for your business. You know, in terms of what's the advantage for us, the values for us, it's huge. You know, our industry members and you, our alumni, will truly enrich the educational experience of our students. Our students will have access to data sets, to real world problems. They will be able to advance the science like no other students. They'll be well-rounded. And I think that when they graduate, they're going to be the students that everyone in industry is going to fight for to hire. You know, think about what would it mean if you hire one of our students. It's not only that you can increase the alumni, the CU alumni, they'll go Buffs, you know, we like that, but you'll have someone who you can count on, you can depend on, someone who knows your culture, understands your problems, and someone you can put on the critical path. And I want to conclude by saying this, okay, we'll do again. It's been said that if you want to go fast in life, you go alone. But if you want to go far in life, you go with others. You know, joining efforts with others from industry, from academia here at CU, and from other universities, from the federal government funding agencies and federal research labs could be exactly what your company needs to thrive during these difficult times. So the question is, how can you be part of this exciting journey? Well, you can learn about everything that we've been doing on our webpage at ppicenter.org, and you can see the webinars and recordings of our events. But truly, what's my preferred approach is to schedule a discovery session with you or a decision maker at your company and invite me in and some of our colleagues, and let's have a conversation about, you know, what are you proud of accomplishing at your company since you left CU? What are your big vision for growth? What's the stumbling blocks? What are the pain points that prevent you to go from where you are to where you want to go? And how can we be thinking partners? How can we continue to serve you? On behalf of the faculty and the students here at CU and the students in our center, we are really looking forward to serving you. Together, we go farther.